Up, gun tuck, niggas front, get bucked.
Welcome back to the Underrated Podcast, episode 40, titled Nightingale Needed. Now, this is Jason Nightingale. I don't know how old he is, but he's a Chicago man, and he's been charged for a deadly murder spree, unfortunately. And as you can see, it's a wide range of area that he covered. Now, he was on live with a pistol, and he was saying a lot of crazy things on that live, and people were looking. So, he had a job, he had a couple of jobs actually, so he was a normal guy. He don't look as the type of guy that would go on the killing spree, right? We beg to differ, He ended up being killed in the town over Everston, and these are the victims, unfortunately.
We begin this hour 18 with a growing list of questions from the CBS 2 investigators about the weekend shooting spree that left 3 people dead and 4 others hurt. The shooter, Jason Nightingale, was eventually killed by police in Evanston. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey joins us live from one of the many scenes where victims were shot, apparently at random, on Saturday. And Megan, some victims' families are asking why it took more than 3.5 hours to subdue him.
Right, Marie, that first shooting happened shortly before 2 o'clock on Saturday. He wasn't killed by Evanston police until close to 6. Now, police say the seemingly random nature of the crimes kept them one step behind. 32-year-old Jason Nightingale zigzagged across the city's south side, opening fire with no apparent motive, police say, killing University of Chicago grad student Yuran Fan, a doorwoman, Aisha Johnson, and a patron at a food mart, Anthony Faulkner Jr., and leaving at least 4 others seriously wounded along the way. Faulkner's family spoke out, asking why the public didn't receive any alerts throughout the course of the spree.
If those type of alerts, emergency alert systems, were activated, how many lives could have been saved?
Now, surveillance video shows Nightingale driving a stolen red Toyota, but we discovered that on police radio, his vehicle description was inconsistent. It ended up being a shot spotter call that alerted police that Nightingale had made his way to Evanston, where he shot yet another victim before he was killed by police. Chicago police said Nightingale's erratic behavior and apparently random targets are what made him so difficult to track. Now, today, we posed that question to CPD that Faulkner's family asked why there was no public alert as all of this was unfolding, and they said really it wasn't clear that all of these events were connected until they were in the middle of that investigation, where it became clear that they were likely connected. They said that the investigation into these incidents remains active.
And Megan, do we have any update on the victims who survived the shootings?
So we were unable to get condition updates on the 3 adults who at last check were in critical condition, but we did hear from the family of a 15-year-old girl. She was shot actually just a few blocks away from here in a car, police say, by Nightingale. Now, her family did not want to speak on camera, but they told me she's still in the hospital. Her condition has stabilized, and they are so grateful for the thoughts and prayers.
Now, I know the first 3 things that's going to be said to combat my opinion. And the first one will be growing up in low-income housing. The second one will be single mothers, absentee fathers. And the third will be systemic racism. And then after that, it's the police fault. But I agree with you saying those first 2 factors. Yep. The third one you can't control, for real. You can overcome it, but you can't control, right? But we live by this weird type of law in the streets, somewhat. No snitching. That's what they say, right? No snitching. But this lady blamed people like the police, but he went live like 2 days with a gun, and according to what I'm seeing, somebody was looking at it. That wasn't his name. His name is Jason, with that same gun, talking crazy in the live, but no snitching. I mean, we got footage of him actually robbing the place that he shot someone at. Look at the rampage. Look at how long he was on the run doing this. He went on live 2 days ago. Same gun. No snitching. Well, if you feel like that, tell that to the 3 victims that end up being on the wrong side of his anger. Tell that to their families. Look at how much ground he covered. I'm telling you, we can stop this if we prevent this and this. We prevent this and this. You will not end up with this. I promise you will not end up in this. And your kid won't be in an area where they don't snitch, and half of the kids end up bones. I'm telling you, it's important. It really is. It really is important for fathers to be in their children's lives, man. Look, pick a candidate. Y'all pick a candidate that you want to be with. You gotta like them for their faults too. You owe it to your child not to let them grow up in areas like this, man. Black people, we can do it. We just need to slow down, calm down, get it together. And sometimes you gotta help these people out so you can keep your community safe, okay? Because if you don't, it's gonna be a nightingale needed in your neighborhood. And that's with all pun intended. Look, man, this is the Underrated Podcast, episode 40, titled Nightingale Needed. I hope you don't need one in your neighborhood. And check out my last reaction, X-Men Rico get lost back in the O-Block. God, that was crazy. And my last episode 39. Subscribe, hit the like, comment, and share. It's your host, NG, with the Underrated Podcast. And